Previously on the Jay and Dan podcast.
Once again, Phillips. I've only got one song. Guys, I already played it.
I know no other songs. I didn't even sing before Idol.
Ba ba black sheep, have you any wool? Have you ever pet a baby sheep? Petted?
I've never petted a baby sheep.
It's like
It must be.
It's like petting heaven. So we're driving around and she's like, "So you're from Canada and you'll be doing sports? So baseball will be brand new to you then, right?" A lot of dudes down there. Like, "Welcome to paradise, dude." Like, nice. Like, not like...
Are you hanging out with Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah, he was hanging out. He was just jogging on the beach.
And I go in, and it's just a stockroom full of mannequins.
Please.
And I was just like...
Please don't pee on a mannequin.
I peed on the mannequin.
What?
I just peed on the mannequin.
I come from the big city. I wear a visor. We cracked the case.
That is him.
The podcast is over now.
I guess that's it. That's how we end it.
You're listening to the Jay and Dan podcast.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, Christoph, working the turntables there.
Hi. That guy's classic.
It's episode 39.
Brought to you by Gassex.
Brought to you by the creepy photographer.
If you've got gas bubbles with inside your body, try some Gassex. It'll put out your nose.
It'll put out your nose?
Don't they go out your nose?
They do?
No.
The bubbles do? The gas bubbles?
The fart bubbles go out your nose.
Straight out your schnoz. That's weird.
Somebody gonna wipe my bum or what?
That is very strange. The concept of that, thinking about that. That is weird. Hey,
Sorry to get back to the hi. You've run into a problem because you can't say hi normally anymore now.
I can't. I can't. Even on the show, I'm like, hi, welcome to Sports Center.
Hi.
You're a bunch of cute audiences. Come on over. I'll take your picture.
Can we get a light on in here?
No,
What
it's
the
nice.
balls?
It's nice. Doolsy, it's good. We're going to do it in the dark.
What are we, in confession?
Yeah, it'll be fun. Come on.
Well, I can't even read my sheet. I gotta...
What are you talking about? Old man. It's like you're an old man or something.
It's podcast number 39, the Jay and Dan podcast. 39 of these we've done?
39 and going strong.
We get a lot of tweets, people saying they just did like a marathon, listen to all the podcasts. I would like to hear a conversation with someone who had listened to all 39 within like a span of 2 days. Old man Toolsy.
God, that sounds bad.
But they can't be right after listening to all of them in a couple of sittings.
I love it. I love when people say they've traveled across the country and they've torn through all of them on one trip. Yeah, that's got to be weird. It's got to be a real trip. I've been listening to the Norm Macdonald Live podcast.
Yes, our friend Robert Dunn informed us of this.
Very funny. He's put on 45 pounds. He eats bowls of gravy and chicken.
On the podcast?
Yes, he does, yeah. And he's had some great guests on. It's entertaining. Super Dave Osborne is on every other podcast. Speaking of our friend Rob Dunn, one of our producers at SportsCenter at TSN in Canada, Rob Dunn brought up a phenomenon to me a couple of weeks ago, and I forgot to mention on the last podcast. And it relates to something you talk about, Toolsy, the fact that you will never do a road trip. You will only poop at home or in a hotel room.
This is correct.
And Rob Dunn happened to be playing baseball with his baseball team in Port Hope, Ontario. If you don't know Port Hope, it's east of Toronto and east of just the GTA in general. Nice little town on the water, right, Toolsy?
Yeah.
I think some people call it Port Dope because you can probably get a ton of great drugs there. And so he's playing baseball there, and he's on his way back to his house in downtown Toronto, and he's nature calls. He's got to poop. He's got to go.
He said he had a coffee.
He couldn't hold it all the way home, so on his day off, he stopped into work at TSN just to poop, just to relieve his bowels.
Oh! Again, if you've ever seen a washroom facility at TSN, stepping inside a full dumpster would be cleaner.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. Now, the urinals are bad because people are wiping their boogs on the wall in front of the urinals.
And their bums.
No one's wiping their bum on the wall. Somebody wiped my bum on the wall. Somebody out there. No, but I just thought it was interesting that Dunner would stop in at work and poop. Somebody gonna wipe my bum or what? And then on the way to work last Friday, I'd gone for dinner with my girlfriend and a couple of friends, and I'm on my way, driving up the Don Valley Parkway, and I had some toots, just like Ruby O'Toole. I had to fart a little bit, so I'm farting along the way. And then, you know how that happens? Like, all of a sudden, you're farting and you feel good, and then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, it was a shart. Oh, and now my pants are full. So I'm on my way to work, and I've literally my pants.
Jay's working blue tonight.
And so then it's the question, what do you do? Like,
What night was this?
this was last Friday. I don't think you were working.
Oh, I wasn't working. Okay,
Yeah.
I had no part of this.
Yeah, you had no idea. Poor Hedge had to work with me. I probably smelled like poop. And but
I just shit my drawers.
but then it's the question, what do you do? Do you take your underwear off?
Oh, yeah, you just go into a stall, take it off, throw it in the garbage.
But then you have no protection between your bum and your pants, and right? And then you're taking a bit of a risk there. Because if you shart again, then they're seeing it. There's
how
grease stains.
How about just don't do that, period?
Well, I wouldn't have. I didn't make the choice to shart. I wasn't like, oh, what a beautiful Friday night. I love that meal.
Big deuce here.
I'll let my pants. We're sad tonight. Sopranos actor James Gandolfini passed away. Just an hour ago, we heard the news.
What a show that was.
And we're going to have Sopranos from TV Theme Vault later in the show as a tribute. Loved that show. He was awesome in it. He did, as you know, Mike Gentili and I were talking about it, he did get a lot bigger as the show went on. You knew that there was going to be a problem there.
Well, that's one of the most iconic television characters of all time.
Mm-hmm. And that show changed everything. Like, that was the first big HBO show. It changed the way we watch TV. I mean, now that's all I watch are the HBO and the AMC shows.
And people that didn't like how that show wrapped up, it was perfect.
I thought it was great.
Everyone wants it. Oh, I don't know what happened. Well, use your brain for once.
Hey, use your goddamn imagination. Like this podcast.
You don't really have to use your imagination. Everything's spelled out very clearly.
Back.
We're happy to have Christoph back. Last week he was a little under the weather. Katie was here. And and by the way, Alan Thicke is our guest this week, Tulsi.
I even forgot all about that because we taped it a week ago.
That's right. He was here for the March of Dimes gala.
Oh, the March of Dimes gala.
Where are you going tonight? Have we got a gala with the wife?
Well, someone was in, I don't know who was getting a tour of the newsroom the other night, and it was Nabil. Nabil brought his buddy Al in.
That's right.
They were touring around the newsroom, and I said, "Oh, you guys gonna go out in the town, go pound some Yager?" Not Jaeger. Sorry, did I have a burp there too?
Oh, here it goes. And so it begins.
Just pounding some Yager.
Well, at least you're just burping. You're not sharting. Oh, here we go. Okay, I've got it now. All right, so we'll time
What
this.
is this?
Okay, so this is an incredible video that was sent to us. I wish I knew by who, and I apologize. I got to start writing down who tweets us all these videos. So Christoph is going to time this, I think.
You probably want to open it up first.
No, but wait, I don't. I just want to make sure I don't.
Well, I can see the.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, I've
There.
seen this.
There we go. No? Oh, did we? Okay.
Now, I had questions about this. I don't know if it's real or not.
Oh, it's very real. We verified it.
Really?
Yeah. Very real.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Christoph is going to play it. This is a 2.5-minute piece about sexual harassment in the workplace.
You hear about sexual harassment on TV, and it makes the headlines in newspapers. As an employee, what do you need to know about it? First, sexual harassment is against the law. And it's against your company's policy. So what is sexual harassment?
Linda, you are doing a fine job here.
Oh, well, thank you, Steve.
But you know, you might try dressing a little sexier at work.
I'm sorry?
I mean, we're talking about your job here.
Who says that?
There may be physical harassment.
Wow. You really tense today, Nancy.
Ow, Bill.
Sorry. You looked really tense.
I really don't like it when you do that. Can you please stop?
Bill is the
I'll never
creepiest
stop.
looking guy I've ever seen.
He looks like Luke Skywalker.
In some instances, the harassment may be verbal.
Crying.
Yes.
Word around the office is you've got a fat.
Yes, I do.
I've got a fat too. Maybe we should rub our fat together sometime. Maybe a little oil. Two fat together. Oil.
It might be visual harassment, such as derogatory posters, cartoons, or drawings.
Sexual harassment is not always about sex. It may be the result of a power struggle between a manager and a subordinate.
Man, I could go for a power right now.
Change is slow, and what was acceptable in common behavior years ago can now be sexual harassment.
It smells like in here.
Excuse me?
It smells like fresh in here.
Are you talking about my?
Maybe.
Everyone wants to be treated fairly and with respect. Treat your coworkers with the courtesy and respect that you want for yourself. It's your company's policy, and it's the law.
A little something for all of us to learn there.
Word around the office is you've got a fat.
I wish the word around the office was about me.
Maybe a little oil.
Oh my God. It smells like fresh.
Yeah, a few people have sent us that. Yeah, fresh.
Are you talking about my?
Damn rights I am. You can smell it from all the way over on the other side of the office.
Also this week,
I'll never stop, Nancy.
I'll never stop. That's the best. I'll never stop massaging your shoulders.
that was Luke Skywalker. On Mad Men, one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen on that show. For those that don't watch it, Don Draper is a character who's very serious. He's
tortured. He's a tortured man.
He's a very no-nonsense kind of guy. So they wanted him to reenact something because they were going to make a pitch to a client in which there was a baby and all these people around the baby, and the baby was crying. So he had to play the baby.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So this was what Don Draper... do we have it? I don't know if we have it.
Yeah, this is what Don did.
Wah, wah, wah.
That's it.
Can I hear that again? Wah, wah, wah.
People were doing mashups of Manu Ginobili complaining about getting fouled at the end of the Heat
Oh, what a game!
Spurs game on Tuesday night.
Finally, they produced a good game.
That was an excellent game. Did you guys watch that? Yeah? Man, that was good.
It's one of those games where even like non-basketball fans are watching because it's riveting.
You know, and I have to say, you know what? Ginobili probably was fouled on that last play. There were a lot. They left a lot of calls out there. They weren't calling that much. Kind of liked it, actually.
And I believe too much was made of the no headband by LeBron.
I loved it. It was great.
He looks 37 years older with no headband.
It's true, because you can see his hairline.
I know.
The headband. Because how old is he now? Is he 28 or 27?
No chance. He's 36 right now.
He looks 29. Let's guess. I'm going to say 20. He's 28. He'll be 29 this December.
Wow.
Yeah. Best game I've been a part of, LeBron said. He was good, but he can take it to another level. Like when he saw that it was slipping away on him, he took it over there late in the second half.
Getting back to the hair. Carlos Boozer was losing his hair. He got implants, didn't
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He definitely got
But LeBron is
plugs, as they say.
LeBron is obviously a bigger name than Carlos, so people will notice it a lot more if he did it. So he can't.
Why not? Wayne Rooney did it. Wayne Rooney, the famous English striker, but not only did he do it, see, he did it the right way. He did it, and then he was tweeting about it, like as the buds were growing in his skull. He was like, this is how it looks.
What the hell was that?
That's not good. We just heard someone outside. This could be trouble. Someone could be attacking us. So,
the building
folks,
sounded like it got hit by like a wrecking ball.
it's been wonderful knowing you, all of you.
Speaking of
We're
which,
going to miss you.
the Much Music Video Awards stage has finally been brought down.
Oh, they just brought it down?
There's still pieces in the parking lot.
I watched a little bit of the red carpet stuff.
I watched Psy.
No, I missed Psy. How was Psy?
That song was big 8 years ago.
No, it was last year. It seems like 8 years ago. Who they should bring in is Right Said Fred.
Yeah. But it was just awkward because all the little teeny boppers were in the crowd and they're like, this is awkward. This song's not popular. And so if my friends see me dancing, they're going to make fun of me. So they're like jokingly dancing along, like laughing.
Yeah, I know. It was, and then those guys from Mariana's Trench came out.
I didn't see them.
And they're like dressed as mermaids and they've got like a dunk tank kind of. You like the dunk tank? You like the dunk tank? You've got the dunk tank thing.
You like the dunk tank?
You like the dunk tank?
It was weird, man. I didn't know what they were going for. Is Mariana's Trench, are they a rock band?
I believe they won Best Rock Video or something.
So they're a rock and roll band.
I believe so. So, serious question. What is the budget? What is the money spent on the Much Music Video Awards?
Well, apparently it was just enough to not allow us to continue working at TSN.
But it's got to be like 10, 15 million, right?
I honestly don't know, but the amount, I mean, just the time they take, the 2 weeks, the 2 full weeks they take to put it all together, close off Queen Street. I mean, it's got to be several $1 million they're spending there.
At least several $1,000s.
Guys, our budget is $10,000 for this. We're going to shut down the entire Queen Street corridor, and you're going to have to deal with it.
Again, I can see why they do it, because right now there's the MTV Music Awards, and then Much wants to be like a solid number 2 for the awards. Well, and the show and all that.
I guess. The one thing I don't understand is why don't they play the Much Music Video Awards on CTV?
That's a good question.
Because how many people even know where Much Music is right now?
It took me 37 minutes to find it.
Right. Like, how, you can't even find it. So, honestly, how good could the ratings be?
I believe it's right next to Teletoon Retro, Retro, Retro.
I do like Teletoon Retro, Retro, Retro. I'm a big fan of that.
I like the Teletoon Retro dial that they use. Because they dial back in time.
Oh, yeah.
The old radio dial?
Yeah, it's cool.
What are you doing over there? Are you sending emails?
No, I'm sending something to Christoph and Mike. I'm thinking maybe they can play it in the podcast. What did I do?
Just taking care of some accounting.
Yeah, I got to handle. Got to do my taxes before I leave the country or they'll come after me. I wanted to play this, Toolsy. I forgot. We were interviewed by one of your very favorite radio stations out of Regina, CJME.
Oh, I was late for that.
CJME. Toolsy barely shows up on time. And
it's a common occurrence, and I apologize to anyone that books us for interviews because I've got kids. I'm running around looking after kids.
Anyway, so we were on CJME a couple of weeks ago, and Toolsy was late, and the guys at CJME, who apparently are fans, even though Toolsy ridiculed their station a few years ago, and ridiculed specifically their mic flashes, they put together this beautiful montage.
I will remember you.
Hey, CJME, get a bigger mic flash. Riders and Owls are Sunday. Week 12 kicks off with the Bombers and Stamps.
You're never going to work for CJME.
Will you remember me?
We mentioned CJME. The size of their mic flash. A mic flash is the thing that goes around the microphone. Says TSN or whoever. They said, hey, could you get a bigger mic flash? Well, they did get a bigger mic flash.
Don't let your life pass you by.
Pretty good.
Jokesters.
Joke's on you, Jack.
And the mic flash said, is this big enough for you, Dan? I believe, didn't it?
That's right. Yeah, they the next day they sent their reporter down to Ryder Camp with the biggest mic flash ever, with a giant sign that said, "Is this big enough for you?"
It was slightly smaller than a billboard that you'd see next to a highway.
It was actually pretty good. They gave it back to you. I loved it, but they had a good sense of humor about it.
And again, yes, we are leaving Canada, but we will be back for the Grey Cup.
That is the plan.
In Regina.
Yeah, that is the plan. We won't be able to be there for the actual game, though. But I believe we're going to be involved in the CFL Awards. We're going to be involved in on the Friday. That's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan, Toolsy. I know I told you about that. Hey, Toolsy, maybe get some more sleep.
Some sleeping hours.
Speaking of which, you're going to have to get more sleep, Toolsy, because you need to write the foreword to my book, Anchor Boy, coming out at the end of October from HarperCollins.
I'll take any suggestions on Twitter.
Yeah, perfect. That's actually good. Take some suggestions from the Twitter folk about what you should put in the foreword. Now, we're not asking for much.
Or I could get it from my daughters. So I said, here, they know Jay, so here's what they wrote.
Can they use writing utensils?
Yes. The one can.
Right. So give it to the other one who can't.
She's the caveman at this point.
But are you excited about this? Are you inspired to write? Because this is the first thing people will read when they crack that book open. They'll read your foreword.
Here's the thing. When's the deadline? How long do I have? A month? 2 months?
They were asking me, the HarperCollins, I met with them today, and they said, we think Dan would be perfect to write the foreword. I said, yeah. I said, a couple of things. We should probably give him a false deadline, because if he has it hanging over him for months and months, he'll be freaked out, because he hates having to pay things back or do things or have anything that he hasn't done.
Right.
So I think we should just give you a fake deadline of 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, you just get it done in 2 weeks. 250 words. That's it.
And then they can reject it, and then I can write another one.
That's the beauty. Nothing will be rejected. You could literally write anything. You could write "what a," and that could be the foreword. That would actually be a great foreword.
Are you talking about my?
Hey, damn straight I am. It stinks.
How about beyond these words lie many more words not written by me?
It's pretty good. It's accurate. Certainly could say that.
Thank you. It's quite an honor to write the foreword to your book.
Oh, thank you for writing the foreword to said book.
I have not written anything at this point.
I thought it was interesting in Jamie McLennan's book. He had Jerome McGinley and Roberto Luongo write a foreword to it.
Wow, you almost got the same kind of thing for yours.
And I remember Jerome's was really heartfelt, and Roberto's felt like maybe he didn't actually know who Jamie was.
Heck!
I can't remember. Anyway, look forward to that book. It'll be coming out this fall. Don't pre-order it yet, though. Wait until we have the cover up on Amazon.ca. Then pre-order it. And in the States, you'll get the ebook. You can get an ebook in the States. We don't have paper that we can send to Canada. We've got to keep it.
Almost. I should tweet it out. I found a book. It was lying on my couch today. I don't know who brought it home or if it's from a library or what, but it was called Danny's Big Day Out. And I was going to tweet, hey, right, say I beat you to the bookshelves. It was a kid's book.
Seems like that wouldn't have been that funny, though.
Old man Toolsy. I still don't know why we don't have any lights on in here.
Why not? It's nice.
I can't see anything.
The other thing is I'm in a full suit because I actually have to work tonight. Meanwhile, Toolsy somehow is not working for the rest of the week.
Hey.
How the hell did you get that schedule?
I had 2 vacation days I had to use before we left, and in our last week, we're there for every single day. So I said, I got to use them this week. They said, yep, you do.
Must be nice.
So hitting the clubs with Christoph, Mike, Taggart.
So Taggart's here. So Christoph, Mike, you and Taggart are going to be at the nightclubs tonight in downtown Toronto. You're going to hop from club to club, VIP sections, bottle service.
Maybe a little oil.
I hope. So I won't name names here. But I got a text, and I shared this text with you the other night. A buddy of mine lives in Vancouver. He still works in the media, and he's like, do you have any connections at the Toronto Sun? I'm like, nope, sorry. He's like, I was a sunshine boy in the 80s, and I wanted to see if I could grab that photo.
Is this serious?
Yes. I said, this is the creepiest text I've ever heard. And he says, you should have saw it. It was hot.
They don't have Sunshine Boys anymore, though, eh?
Yeah, I don't know who they would be going after with that one.
Well, I feel like maybe on our last week of the show, every day it's a different Sunshine Boy. So one day it's Christoph. Next day it's Mike. Day after that it's Toolsy. Day after that it's Reichi. And then a day after that it's Taggart.
So I picture like late 70s, early 80s Sunshine Boy. He's probably in jean cutoff shorts and just bush coming out the sides and the top.
Just pubes, just barely able to contain those pubes. It's just a pube bulge. You got a big pube bulge there, buddy.
And the ladies are like, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to get a whiff of those pubes. Can't wait to bury my face in that bulge. Yeah.
And here's the other thing.
Oh, nice. Okay, we have something here.
Something else. So, a friend of mine, before the U.S. Open started, he said, I had a dream.
Oh, this is weird. I have to say, this is unbelievable.
He says, I had a dream that Justin Rose won the U.S. Open. He goes, how do you place a bet? I've never placed a bet. So I'm like, well, you go on a site, whatever, and you place your bet. And there you go. So he's like, well, okay, I want to do it. I've never placed a bet, so I'm going to put $50 on Justin Rose to win at 25-1. Who wins? Justin Rose. And he says, and he held the trophy the exact same way that he did in his dream. So the guy wins $1,300.
I hold my trophy in my dreams a lot.
Word around the office is you've got a fat.
So one bet in his lifetime, he's 1 for 1, and he hits a home run.
That is pretty amazing.
And if you watch the final round of the U.S. Open, Justin Rose is the only one who didn't mess up in the last, 3 holes.
Yep.
So he was pacing. He couldn't watch. He was ready to vomit.
He was steady on 18. Just beautiful. He took out the, was it the fairway wood or the driver from the fringe there and just tapped it close to the hole? That was pretty cool.
I thought he was going to sink that one. And Taggart pointed out that he looks like a young Hannibal Lecter, but you think he looks like someone else.
He looks like King Joffrey from Game of Thrones, the most despised character in television today.
Is King Joffrey like the young?
Yeah.
The young guy. Okay,
the real yeah, he is. He's just a But apparently the weird thing about that actor is, because everyone says, do people come up to you on the street and just, slap you in the face? But apparently on set, he's, the nicest actor ever. So it's just a weird...
Oh, and I had to make...
means he's a good actor.
I had to make a correction. I blew it last week.
Oh, here we go.
For some reason, I said Prince George, Saskatchewan. But it's Prince George, BC.
Yeah.
I don't know. Obviously, it was just a screw-up.
Well, probably because we were interviewing Brent Butt.
Yeah.
About Saskatchewan.
Because we were talking about Mr. PG and how he's made out of a septic tank. But
right.
So I apologize to anyone in Prince George, BC. Obviously, I know the place.
We were there.
I love your airport, by the way.
We were there last year.
Yeah, it's a fantastic airport.
It's great. Remember, who is that lawyer? I took that picture of you in front of that lawyer's sign.
Oh, yeah. It's like Harry Ball's lawyer.
It was like Harry Balls. If you get hit by an ambulance, Harry Balls.
And a lot of great comments about Brent Butt coming on. We thank him again.
Yeah, he was great. This is from @_Randall A. He says, this is how you deal with dumb people in Los Angeles, courtesy of a very famous Canadian.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jim Carrey, and how are you this evening? All righty then. I grew up in Canada. Is there anybody here from Canada? I used to get really upset when I told people where I came from down in Los Angeles because I always got the same response. Canada? Wow. Must have been cold. Now I just go along with them.
Yes, Canada. It was a frozen, hostile wasteland. And there was much work to be done if we were to survive the elements. After boring a hole through the ice to find food, my good friend Nantuck and I would build an igloo to protect ourselves from polar bears and flying hockey pucks. Then we would drink a lot of beer. And when Nantucket was ready, he would tell me the story of the great moose who said to the little squirrel, "Hey, Rocky, watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat."
He lost me towards the end.
That's Jim Carrey.
So Dumb and Dumber 2 got canceled?
It did? What?
I heard
It's over?
they pulled the plug on it.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah,
I'm
I
upset
came up
about
the other
that.
day.
That's brutal.
I'm gonna. And speaking of actors, while we look this up, the guy from Letterkenny, Ontario, which we played last week, was the guy who played Don Cherry in the Don Cherry CBC movie.
See, I never saw that. Was it good?
I know who he is because I saw 9 million promos.
Greg Zahn tonight is wearing a Colonel Sanders outfit.
Okay.
Greg Zahn looks like Colonel Sanders.
I have had this discussion with people before. When Colonel Sanders was alive,
Yeah, huge.
he would show up at KFC's and just start cooking chicken. You aren't supposed to say anything. You just let him in the kitchen go nuts.
Word around the office is you've got a fat.
Word around the office is the Colonel had a big monster between his legs.
If the Colonel came into your KFC, would he not scare the bejesus out of you? Because he's an iconic looking character.
Plus, he's always wearing that white suit.
Yeah.
Is
I'd
that
be
it?
terrified. I always wonder. Would you not be like, what the?
Well, you said no
Not
one was
now.
supposed to say anything? Like,
Yeah.
you just don't say anything.
They said the Colonel's here. You just let him go in and cook the chicken.
What?
Yep.
Well, speaking of chicken and Greg Zahn, I will say Greg Zahn was the person who on Twitter recommended Popeye's hot and spicy chicken. And I heard you and Taggart crushed some of that last Friday.
Yeah, we'll get... Wait. We
Mike
have
Gentili
something.
has an update on Dumb and Dumber too.
Yeah,
Here we
I
go.
just
So
found it
Dumb
too.
and Dumber, and the work since April 2012 was passed on by the Warner Brothers. So they said forget it. This is June 11th. So they said forget it. However, they have found funding, and the project is back on.
Yes!
Including Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels.
Fantastic!
They are shooting for a 2014 summer release, which would be 20 years from the original movie.
Holy crap! It came out in 94?
That's what it says, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it did come out in 94.
You know how old we are? It was Father's Day the other day, and my oldest had to fill out a form in which she filled in the blanks about your dad at
Oh,
school.
this is good. This
So
is
the
good.
first question is, your dad is blank years old. My daughter.
What do you think? What do you think she put?
I'm an old man!
Yeah. So the very first line. I should have brought the whole sheet in because every answer is just like comical. My dad is 55 years old. So I asked her, I'm like, Sydney, what is this? She goes, well, if we didn't know, the teacher told us to guess. And the next one was like, my dad is smart because he blank. And it's, my dad is smart because he can cut the lawn.
I love that
I
one.
was howling.
Hey, that Dumb and Dumber movie, by the way, I just forgot one thing. It's officially titled Dumb and Dumber 2, and the 2 is spelled T-O.
Nice.
Well done.
I can't wait. What a film. I remember exactly where I saw it. The West Edmonton Mall food court theaters near the water park. People in Edmonton will know what I'm talking about. That was really
I know the West Edmonton Mall.
with Del Venus.
West Edmonton Mall, is it the biggest tourist attraction in Edmonton?
Yeah, I would say so. Still, I would think it still is. It's definitely not the Mootart Conservatory.
I've been there a million times, and it's packed every time I go.
Yeah, well, it's a good time. You go to the mall, you shop for things, you maybe gamble a bit, you can go to a nightclub,
And then you can go to that urine-filled
For a
pool.
swim? Yeah, you can go for a swim. Well, every pool's filled with urine, let's be honest.
But that's what the chlorine does, right?
Yeah, it takes away it singes your eyes and it allows the hot pee to be dissipated. We need to dissipate that hot pee. Toolsy, are you going to get a house with a pool in L.A. and I can come over and hang out all the time?
I hope to.
Yeah.
The temporary housing that they have us in, it's got a pool.
Oh, that's good.
You can come on over. Should we get to Alan Thicke?
I think we should. Now, do you want to get to the Tim and Eric set? You were broken up because we forgot to ask him about working with Tim and Eric.
Tim and Eric are two of our favorite comedians. They did the Tim and Eric Awesome Show. Great job.
Yeah.
And now they're working on other things. They do that new YouTube comedy site.
What is it called again?
Forget it.
With Sarah Silverman, Michael Cera, and
some other guy. I don't know.
Rich. Oh God, the Reggie Watts. Reggie Watts.
So we're huge fans of those guys. And they had Alan Thicke in one of their skits. So we're going to play that. If you've ever seen the Tim and Eric show, it makes no sense. So the audio will make zero sense, but we're going to play it anyway.
Hello, I'm Dr. Alan Thicke. Studies have shown that short periods of sleep during the day can drastically reduce the incidence of some minor illnesses. And that's why I'm here to introduce you to a brand new fruit. It's called the Cinco Napple. This fruit makes you fall asleep and then wakes you up after only about 15 minutes. This is a truly amazing fruit. First, the apples are injected with a mild bowel irritant. Then the apples are dipped in a sleeping gel and set in the sun to dry. Simply take a few bites from the napple and it knocks you out. Oh, me so sleepy. The apple juice sits in your stomach and then starts to gently irritate the bowels. So you wake up. You may want to wear your D-pants. After all, an apple a day and a good nap a day will keep me awake. My bowels.
Great job. It's called Jash, is their YouTube site. So just search Tim and Eric and Alan Thicke. I think that'll come up.
Yeah.
So again, we taped this interview last week. We mentioned the one line that Alan Thicke delivers during this interview will live forever in this podcast until his people tell us to stop playing it.
It's true.
So make sure you listen to all of this interview. It's very entertaining. I had a great time doing it.
And before we get to it, a lot of people know who watch our show. We had sort of a famous thing with Alan Thicke because he'd always go to Kings games, and we would point it out, and then I'd do my very famous Alan Thicke impression. So I did it for him, and you're going to hear his reaction to that. So here's Dan and I interviewing Canadian icon Alan Thicke.
You know what kind of people we are.
Crazy, a little crazy.
Well, I had a 98 Lexus ES 300, and we thought we'd raise some money. People could like beat it up or something, and we'd get all this money going. But we're so lazy, we figured out it'd be too much work, so we just abandoned the plan.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Even halfway through
so that's
you
the kind of
explain,
people that you're talking to right now.
before you even finished that explanation.
Hey, so we need some advice. Years ago, I used to watch you on your CTV or your Canadian daytime talk show. I used to love with my grandmother, and then you went and did Thick of the Night, and you made that big leap.
Your great-grandmother.
No, it was my grandmother,
Okay.
and we loved your show. And I remember you went and you did Thick of the Night, and so you made that leap. You made that Canadian to American leap. So we're about to do that.
Mm-hmm.
We're feeling a little apprehensive about it. I'm wondering if you can maybe give us a little bit of advice as we head stateside.
Well, when I made that leap, there was nothing but a canyon below and a rocky landing. Mine sucked pretty hard. So I would say be very careful of the leap. In fact, I would recommend pushing your partner off the cliff first.
You think so?
You know, yeah,
I've
sit
wanted
down
to do
and
that.
see how they do without you. You know, and then if it looks good, if the water's good, then you come down and tell everybody it was your idea. But I would, in my case, you really have to know yourself and what you can do, and don't let them mess with you and stick with your brand.
We can't do much, though.
Yeah, we can't really do anything.
Well, then you'll be perfect in American television. You know, You were made for that. See, I was way too good for that. I had this whole skill set. We couldn't fit it in anywhere. No, what happened was I was good in the afternoon, which is kind of a schmoozy, light. And nowadays it's what Ellen DeGeneres does to some degree, and people like that, Steve Harvey. But they tried to take that kind of schmoozy, friendly character and turn it into late night. And late night is the environment of guys who would kill for a laugh. And I say that respectfully. I say that because the best guys, and my favorite, are guys who have a lifetime, in stand-up comedy, and they're willing to go for the jugular. My mother wouldn't let me talk like that. I love Dave. I love Jay's monologue. They go right for the throat. They're not afraid to say anything. And it's a stand-up comics medium. It's not like they call it a talk show. It's not. It hasn't been a talk show for a generation. It was a talk show when Jack Parr did it or Steve Allen did it, but now it's a promotional comedy show. Period. And I didn't have the chops for that. That wasn't my experience. In the afternoon, in Canada, we were winging it. We didn't even have a writing staff. No writers. Jay has 16.
By the way, we still don't have any writers up here.
That's because they don't like you. They don't understand you, and they don't know what they say. We don't know how to talk like that. No, that could be a great advantage for you, because it'll be your organic personalities that work, and that was working for me in my talk show. And when we tried to change the day part, from 1 o'clock in the afternoon till 11 o'clock at night, I was just no good. It's a long way of saying just be good, because I was no good.
You mentioned Steve Harvey. You were Steve Harvey before Steve Harvey, because he does game shows. He does talk shows. I think he did a sitcom, didn't he?
I think he did.
Yeah.
I think he did.
I guessed it on his sitcom.
Yeah.
So, did you teach him? Did you mold Steve Harvey?
He owes everything to me. No, the fun of my career has been the variety of it, and I have publicly admitted that if I could ever have really been any good at anything, then I would have. If I could have been Chris Rock, if I could have been De Niro, if I could have been Robin Thicke when I grew up, I would have done that. But instead, I did a bunch of things okay, and they afforded me a wonderful experience and a good career. And then there was always something new to do, so it was never dull. And then when you totally failed at one thing, another door would open. And there was a time after the Thick of the Night debacle that I could see myself. My future was going to be driving the Zamboni for the Kings, and I was lucky to get growing pains after that.
You mentioned your son Robin. Could you tell him to tone it down a little? Every time I turn on the radio, I hear his song.
Yeah, and we appreciate that, because there's significant.
There's a lot of airplay.
Yeah, family royalties in that.
Nice. Yeah.
No, it's thrilling, and he's a guy. He deserves it. Robin has worked really hard. Nothing has, and he's self-taught. I taught him how to fill out the publisher forms. That was about it, best I could do for him. But his musicianship and the brand that he's developed and what's evolved, it's all him. And like I said, he works hard for it. He's got a great work ethic. And he's never totally relaxed. He'll have a notepad nearby, and he works hard.
But you're a musician, because one of the big things on this show, we play classic TV themes. And you've written some gems.
Yeah. Yes.
Now, that's what I want to ask you. Are you still raking it in from the Different Strokes theme, from the Facts of Life?
Raking it.
Just big bucks.
It dribbles in. It's a gift that keeps on giving, because if they play this in Singapore on a rerun, I get 13 cents, and then every quarter they'll send you a little, or the way
they don't come 13 cents per check. They hopefully.
You let them add up until there's like $1.40. Right. Or what happens is they do get a lot of play on other shows, not just on the original episode, but on other shows, even in North America. Like every time some child star gets arrested for a weapons violation, or
luckily that happened on different strokes all the time.
Exactly, or just comes out of rehab, you know, then they know that when they report that, when Mario Lopez reports that, I get 13 cents.
I love it.
Because they'll play that theme underneath or show a little graphic.
Now, what are your favorite themes that you have written? Because we'll play them after this interview.
I would say, well, I like Different Strokes because I sang it.
That's right.
And I like Facts of Life because lyrically, a lot of very clever internal rhymes that I'm happy to say get quoted liberally. Without even singing the song, I've seen it quoted on this year alone, Saturday Night Live. There are two broke girls did a Saturday Night Live did a sketch where somebody went up in the mountains to see a guru, a wise man, and got there, and what was the advice? Well, you take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have. So I'm always flattered by that, and it's around that point that I drag my 15-year-old by the collar and drag him in and say, you see how cool your dad is?
I thought you were going to say you drag your lawyer by the collar and have him call them up and demand those residuals for you.
Ask for more.
Yeah, exactly.
A higher license fee.
And you were, I mean, the LA Kings, I see so many celebs there now. I see Beckham there, I see Cruz there, and I see Brock. I guess Brockheimer's a real hockey fan, but you were the guy who was a true Canadian, who's a fan of that team through and through all through the years. Does it make you a little bit upset that these fly-by-night fans come in and watch the Kings when you've been there the whole time with this team?
The guys you named aren't fly-by-night, but we've certainly had our share of fly-by-night. We saw most of them during the Gretzky era, because although the Kings as an entity are now a team recognized and respected in the league, when Gretzky first came in the late 80s, he was a celebrity. He was still a singular celebrity. They don't have that now. There is not one outstanding guy that everybody relates to that has that magic. So when Gretzky was there, that's when you would see the Hollywood community come out, because they just knew the name Gretzky much before they knew Kings or hockey. So they related on a celebrity to celebrity level. Now the people that I see there are genuine guys who've been going for years and are fans, and in some cases even Canadians. But yes, I was one of the original first, and I mean, I literally got there in the early 70s when it was like the old joke. You'd call up, what time's the game start? What time can you be here? and you would buy a $5 ticket, if you can even imagine that, up in the rafters, and then there's only a few thousand people there, so you move further down. You know, some days you'd be sitting on the bench, and there were guys on the team in those early days when I was feeling kind of homesick, because I'm newly there from Canada, who I had played with and knew, and so I would go down. They were my first friends in L.A. The hockey players were my first friends, and I became kind of an unofficial ambassador. And after a couple of years, guys like Jack Kent Cooke would say, gee, are there any celebrities you could bring to watch? Can we get any celebrity? The Lakers are pouring them in here. At the time, you had the Rams and then later the Raiders. Nobody was going to hockey games. So I did. I brought some people along when they were in town or available. I had Bob Hope. I had good old Canadians like Anne Murray and Gordon Lightfoot. Wow. And so there started to be at least a certain awareness. And then they would appear in Goal magazine, which used to be the official publication. And then after my son got diabetes, I was close enough to the Kings and the Jerry Buss administration at that point that he asked me if I wanted to produce the NHL Awards show. The All-Star Banquet, because the All-Star game was coming to L.A. for the first time. I think this was about 1980. Coming to L.A. for the first time, and I said, sure, I'll do it if you give the proceeds to diabetes. So that, by the way, was when I first met Wayne Gretzky. He was about 18 years old. And that was, I guess, his first All-Star game. And happy to say that ever since then, to this day, all these many years later, they give proceeds from the NHL Awards show to diabetes. There's been a relationship with diabetes for that long.
It should be pointed out that we aren't stocking a fridge full of beer, if you can hear that. It's in the room next door, unless they're preparing it for us. I think it was Colin Hanks that we had on the show, and he said Mary Hart is like the ambassador for LA sports. She's at every single event.
Oh, she's a little sports slut. Of course, she's
just
there.
a
Wherever. Oh, yeah, you can't care. Mary, get out of the locker room for crying out loud. The boys are trying to put their pants on here. Can you just give it up for it? Yes, your legs are lovely, Mary, but stop staring at Kopitar's ass.
Before we let you go,
by the way, just parenthetically, and I know and love Mary deeply. Her husband, Bert Sugarman, was my first employer in the U.S. and I got a million stories, aren't you? Sorry,
Are we getting kicked out? Well, we're getting eyed. How much time do we have?
The guy.
2 minutes. We got 2 minutes.
The guy Sugarman, the guy she married, Sugarman, not only was my first employer, but he hired me to write and produce a game show. That began my theme song writing career, by the way, because I hired myself to write the theme song, as you a clever Canadian would.
You do that?
And then they were looking for a host, and we were all racking our brains, and I'm the one who came up with Alex Trebek, who then came down and lived at my house for a while he auditioned for the show. He got it, and the rest is game show history.
And then they did a movie about him searching for Sugarman. Oh, no, sorry, that's it.
That's a different.
And Alex and I formed the first and original celebrity hockey team.
Look at that.
And
Who was on it?
me and Alex. No, we had over the years we had some pretty good ones. Dan Moriarty, who does play-by-play now for ESPN, I think, hockey play-by-play. John Bennett Perry, who's Matthew Perry's dad, who later brought Matthew into the fold to play. Our honorary coach, who was at every game because he loved to travel to the fun places we were going to, was Kelsey Grammer. And later we recruited
Wild Days
guys.
Kelsey Grammer?
I was going to say he was just
wild and crazy Kelsey. That was before he was
party.
so professorial. And since then, we've had Cuba Gooding, Tim Robbins, David Boreanaz. We've recruited a lot of people
We can skate.
who love to play. Can you?
Oh, yeah.
I can hook you up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, we're still playing. We're still out there trying.
Before we go, Dan and I have a bit on the show where whenever we see you at a Kings game, we put you in the highlights, and I do probably the best Alan Thicke impression you've ever heard. So I'm wondering if you would mind if I just
Better
do
than
this.
Robin? Robin does a pretty
Does Robin do a good one? Well, here it is. This is what I say. I say, Mike, Boner's at the door. So that's it. That's the whole impression.
See, just saying that line, it wouldn't matter if he sounded like me or not. It's
brilliant.
very entertaining just to hear Boners at the door.
You made my day.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us and have
Hey,
fun
thank you.
at the gala. And
Kill him down there. Where are you going to be?
Can we stay with you?
Living down there.
Can
We have no place to live, and I'm not even kidding.
I'd have to kick Kate Upton out of her room, and it would just be a bit of a mess, and all that lady's underwear and stuff. You wouldn't like it.
We wear that anyway. We're fine sharing it.
Where will you be based out of L.A.?
We'll be in the Fox lot.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
So
When do you start?
When do we
We
start?
start July. The station launches August 17th.
In Canadian fashion, they're keeping us here till June 30th, and then we start at the beginning of July in the States.
Great.
Why would they let
So we'll leave you our numbers, and we'll expect a call.
No, you're killing that. That's great. That was a very nice story they did in Sports Illustrated.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Nice-
Appreciate it.
nice
Best
page.
of luck to you. Yeah, we'll see you down there.
Okay, great,
Thanks, Alan.
great.
There you go, Alan Thicke. Man, he was, first of all, super nice.
Yeah, we should describe how the interview was conducted. So we were all sitting in a circle, and Zach was holding the microphone while we all spoke. So there was one microphone bandied about between the three of us. He had great microphone skills.
He did. He had a beard, a bit of a stubble. It looked like he maybe had a few drinks the night before.
You can't throw Alan under the bus.
I'm not throwing him under the bus. I'm just suggesting that's what he looked like.
I wanted to get into the Kirk Cameron thing, but I didn't want to.
I kind of felt
Open
like
up that can of
he's
worms.
probably had to go through that so many times that, let's take it a different direction.
Yeah, how about his Mary Hart line, though?
Loved it. Yeah. What a little...
I'm so publicist because she was in the room.
Yeah.
We were in like a conference room, so it was just us in the room and the publicist sitting at the back. I thought she'd come over and say, "Hey guys, can you take that out?"
Yeah, well, I don't know if I think we had buttered her up sufficiently at that point. I had grinded up against her legs.
I'll never stop dancing.
Yeah, you want me to rub your shoulders? Yeah, you can let me tell Alan Thicke whatever the you want to tell him. All right,
Never.
Yeah, you get out of here. Hey, earlier, Mike Gentili and I were talking about the certain intros that we do. This is one of my favorites. Do you have this now, Christoph? Okay, this is one of my favorite intros. I'm going to miss doing this. We might have to keep doing this in LA. Here we go.
That prank by Andre Iguodala inspired our top 10 seat moments, and I know it seemed funny, but sometimes pranks can go horribly wrong. Like just a few seconds ago, when I pulled Dan's chair out from under him, and he died. We're gonna miss you, buddy. Is Kate Burness free? I'm right here, Kate. Right here, Kate.
And I still have that on my BlackBerry, the photo of, it's called an over-the-shoulder when you have a graphic behind the person doing it, and it's right here. It says, O'Toole, 1975 to 2012.
Oh, I love it.
I also have a picture on my phone of Julie Louis-Dreyfus.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus?
Yeah, Julie Louis.
You were obsessed with her.
She was on Fallon the other night.
Yeah. You were like excited. You love her.
Why not, eh?
But you correctly have always pointed out she is one of those women who has gotten better looking with age.
She has, because in the Seinfeld days, she had the big puffy hair.
Yeah. Yeah. And then toward the end, it started to look a little better. And then now she's on Veep, which is a great show. I don't know if you guys watch that.
It is. I watch it.
Really funny. She plays the vice president.
And she's probably had work done, but she's had very good work done.
Yeah, I want to know who her surgeon is.
Jeremy Taggart joins us. I mentioned we were playing golf the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi. Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, is this my...
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hi, guys.
Come on, it'll be fun.
So we thank the crew at Wooden Sticks who let us go out there and bang a few.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first round of the year. It was a beautiful day. I've always had gorgeous weather at Wooden Sticks.
It was a spectacular day.
But the day turned a bit bizarre because a kid and his mom. So we thought this kid was like 14. We're in the cart behind us. It was very slow. The round took something like 5-6 hours.
Yeah.
So we saw them on every tee box. So he'd get up there. Usually you stay in your cart when someone's teeing off and you're like on their butts. No, he'd get out of his cart and stand on the tee box with us. So I was in a cart with Taggart and we drive away. I'm like, I think he said under his breath, about one of our drives. And Taggart's like, no, he didn't. So the next hole, I told everyone, yeah, he was chirping us. So the one guy, the other guy we were playing with, David, he hit it somewhere. He's like, the kid's like, yeah, that's in the weeds.
It was just off the fairway. Oh, that's in the weeds.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then it just started to thicken up more.
And then another drive was hit, and it did a massive duck hook in the air. And he's like, oh, that was quite a hook.
Yeah, nice hook.
And then we're like, oh, it should be okay over there. Actually, I think it's OB. He goes, don't worry. It's just the marshal over there. Because he almost hit the marshal.
It was constant, just
chirp central.
It got to the point where when you took the club back, you just saw that kid's face.
He was in Taggart's head. Taggart's like, I can't get him out of my head.
He had this
he was in your wheelhouse.
He had this Charlie Sheen on 2.5 Men bowling shirt on too. Which you don't see at all anymore.
No.
He had this big Bass Pro Shop hat on. I don't know how he got on the golf course wearing those clothes. He's with his mom, possibly. And
maybe it was his girlfriend.
No, that's the craziest part. We're taking our clubs to the car, and all of a sudden we hear this big bum, 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 bum. We look, and there's this monster truck. And guess who's driving?
What?
This kid. And the mom is in an SUV, so they're not even together. He's in this big...
We thought he was 14 and he's driving a monster truck.
F-1150. Just this massive and he's looking at us as he's driving by with a dart in his mouth.
Wow.
Hey, going for a dart.
Crazy. We totally expected it would have made a classic if he just drove by us real slow and said, you guys suck.
Yeah, so turns out he's like 30. We thought he was like 14.
But why is he golfing with his mom if he's 30?
He's just like
no one else will golf with him.
Total. And you could just his mother wasn't playing really. She was just hanging out or just putting up with him, doing
maybe she's his sponsor. He's like
she's the last one that will hang out with him.
He was in everyone's head, and it just became the running gag of the round. It was,
Mom, you're in the way. Get out of the way, Mom.
and
That's him.
We discussed that you had some Popeyes, Taggart, for the first time. What'd you think?
Well, I did have Popeyes in the 80s, and I had an unnerving experience with the Popeyes. So.
In the 80s.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah, well, when you have
crazy time.
When you have an experience like that, 20 years goes by pretty quick. Yeah. When
It felt good, didn't it?
When you're done with something, when you've had it, you know.
Yeah. No, exactly.
And,
you never forget.
I had it again. It wasn't bad. It was a little greasy. It's a little greasy.
Oh yeah, it's a lot greasy.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad.
See,
it was kind of like I could see myself crushing that again, possibly.
Did you get the hot and spicy?
Oh yeah, we got both.
Yeah. See, I last had a chicken McNugget when I was 14 years old because I bit into one. It was that little ball of fat.
Ooh, that'll do it. That'll do it.
And that's the end of it.
No
more McNuggets for me.
Since
Sorry.
then.
Have you ever seen the making of chicken McNuggets?
Yeah.
Because they have that show how they make things.
The pink goo.
Disgusting.
That it becomes.
It's a pink paste.
Ugh. Thank God.
I don't.
So I saw the making of that, and another.
Why do they all have to be shaped like boots?
They're shaped like Italy.
Yeah. Every single one of them is a little boot.
Little Italian.
Little
nuggets.
off-centered boot.
And the other industry that should not showcase how their products are made, hot dogs. I also saw that.
Yeah. Lips and hooves.
Where is the banana hot dog?
I love that. That's a real pick-me-up right there.
It really is, isn't it? It really gets you
It
going.
felt good, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
That would be a great alarm clock. That's a banana hot dog. At 7 a.m., like
amazing.
over and over.
If you could have Essa call you every morning and say that.
Where is the banana hot dog?
I'm up. I'm good.
I'm good, buddy.
Fruit Loops. Let's go.
Do you guys want to get into some commercials here?
Love to.
Okay, so I chose both these. Hope you don't mind. One is from my former my former workplace, my former town I called home, Fort McMurray, Alberta. I lived up there for 3 years, from 1999 to 2001. I got to do the play-by-play for the Fort McMurray Oil Barons. If those from outside of Canada, this is a junior league in the Alberta Junior Hockey League. Great hockey. Scotty Upshaw came from that team. He plays in the NHL now. Chris Phillips is from Fort McMurray, so it's a oil town. It's known for oil. A lot of monster trucks up there.
The oil sands.
Expensive trailers.
They have
Maybe
the
a
most,
little oil.
They have the most trucks on the road anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and
Like
you can make $58,000 a year at Tim Hortons.
Yes, exactly.
Or dealing drugs.
No.
So I know for certain that this ad from Fort McMurray is real. First off, because the dealership I know and the man voicing it, Marty Giles, used to be on my sports radio program called Overtime every Saturday morning.
First of all, how do we get tapes of that?
Yeah.
How do we get tapes of that show?
That would be cool.
Oh, God, I'd love that.
That's the one.
Do you have tapes of that?
I'll try find them.
That means yes.
How bad could it be?
Oh, no, I'd be like, it's joining me is Paul Tracy. Do you like to drive cars fast?
Did you have to have
hillbilly?
You had to have an Alberta drawl?
You a hillbilly back then?
I was just a little job.
Howdy, y'all. Welcome to the Fort McMurray 7 o'clock hour, y'all.
What was that?
It's like an English
That's what
accent
you
and a
gotta
hillbilly
do.
accent.
Remember when SCTV, when John Candy would do the bad English guy? Hey, y'all.
I don't.
Which sketch?
Actually, it was when he did the Dr. Tongue.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a bad
3D House of Pancakes.
To be exact, it's when they did the Midnight Cowboy spoof.
Oh,
which was a classic.
Oh, so then he was doing like a Razzo Rizzo.
He's pretending to be a whatever that accent that Dr. Tongue is, but a southern drawl, which brought on the hello, y'all.
Hey, they always did the 3D House of Pancakes.
Wow. Where did that come from?
What a show.
Now, this
best show ever.
Yeah, it really
that's
was.
also the show in which I told you I had Mark Burnett, the creator of Survivor.
You had him on your show?
When he was Small Potatoes?
When he was doing what was that? The Eco Challenge race.
Yeah.
So I had him on to talk about that. He's like, "Hey, before I go, can I mention my new show?" I'm like, "Fine." He's like, "Oh, well, we're doing the show. It's called Survivor." And then he went through, and I'm like, "Yeah, okay, best of luck with that."
Okay, good luck with that.
He's like, and then I'm going to have a swimming pool, and I'm going to put the money in it, and I'm going to jump in the swimming pool.
Wow.
Yeah. So that
Pretty
was
cool.
That was my investigative skills. Okay, so this is the radio commercial from Fort McMurray, Alberta.
It's a long preamble.
Marty Giles here for North Star Ford, and I know you've heard about our family pricing initiative. Over the weekend, however, North Star Ford had some non-family members come steal some rims and tires off a new Harley truck, a new Mustang, and a new F-150 FX4. Instead of getting mad about it, I thought I would turn it into a positive, as that is what we do at North Star Ford, and we try and help the community. If you give us a tip or the RCMP a tip that leads to the recovery of these tires and rims and arrest of these criminals, we will give you $10,000. We will also give $10,000 to a Wood Buffalo charity of the RCMP's choosing. Now, if these criminals return these rims and tires, I will call off the posse, no harm, no foul. You think one of your pals won't turn you in for $10,000? Better return those, Skippy, as I get a great deal on commercials, and I'll run them forever until you get caught. Was your friend really on his cell phone right now talking to his sister? Or maybe he was calling us to turn you in. You can't be too sure. Come on, Wood Buffalo. Let's get together and catch these criminals and raise money for a good cause. You and a charity in Wood Buffalo get to win. $10,000 upon the arrest, and $10,000 will go to the community for a great cause that the RCMP chooses. North Star Ford, the way the ratting out your friend experience should be.
Wow.
Think one of your pals won't turn you in for $10,000? Better return those, Skippy.
That's great.
I love the bully bathroom reverb.
Yeah. I think he had done a little cocaine before that commercial.
I think they sped it up to put it all in within the time.
It's like, we have 30 seconds, go, do it again.
It was that was good. I like that.
So that was from Fort McMurray, and I wanted, because I always say wasabi.
Why?
Because of the old Budweiser commercials that was up. I wanted to revive those. Can we bring them back to see how bad or good they were?
Is that not too soon?
No, it's been like 10 years, hasn't it?
Not enough.
Yeah, it has been 10 years.
Okay, let's have a listen.
Hello? Yo, what's up? Nothing, B. Just watching the game, having a bud. What's up with you? Nothing. Watching the game, having a bud. True. What's up? What's up? Yo, what's that? Yo, pick up the phone. Hello? What's that? What's up? Yo, where's Dookie? Yo, Dookie. Yo. What's that? What's that? Hold on. Hello? So what's up, B? Watching the game, having a bud. True.
Oh, those still crack me up.
That's again, took us right back there.
Yeah, it really did to us.
From 99 to 2002, so I was right, 10 years old.
Yeah. We need another 10 years on that one.
Yeah. I might need to wait.
You guys still didn't giggle?
I still got shivers a little bit. You know, like
it was huge. Those commercials
were massive,
gigantic, huge. Yeah,
it was like a right said Fred. We still need a little time. You know.
Though Cy can come back a year later and host the Much Music Video
After he said, "I'll never play this song again," last January.
Did he say that?
Yeah. He's like, this is the finale song, Gangnam Style," and then all of a sudden he's playing
back.
it again.
It's back.
He had another hit though with the Gentleman one, right? The farting in the face.
Yeah. You're right. That's his new song.
That was a hit.
Farting in the face of all.
That should have been our hit song.
He had a
What's it
billion
called? Pink
views.
Eye?
Yikes!
Too soon?
I don't know what that is.
Health Canada, here I come.
You see Greg's on soon?
Greg Zonders.
Oh, very nice.
Greggle Zonders.
It is so true.
Maybe just hold a huge bucket of chicken while he's talking. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Eating it while he's going. He's a big boy. He could probably crush a bucket of chicken.
Oh, easily. He loves fried
He might
chicken.
just get the skin off and throw the piece away. I could see that with the
I'd
Popeyes.
just eat the skin.
Yeah, just
like
crush the skin and then throw the rest away.
Joey on Friends.
It should also be
Is
noted.
he wearing an ascot with that suit?
It should also be noted that after golf, Taggart came to my house and we listened to some Eddie Money records.
Yeah, we did.
You purchased those.
Yeah, and he didn't put his hand down my pants.
Oh, yeah?
Because that's usually what happens with an Eddie Money vinyl record.
Maybe we should rub our fat together sometime.
Yeah, that's exactly what was going on at the O'Toole house.
Hey, that Popeyes ought to do the trick. Just grab me a dabble of that, would you?
Could I get a napkin? Oh, no. Don't,
I got the Popeyes.
don't wipe your hands yet. Keep them nice and greasy.
Oh,
Maybe a little oil.
Should we get into some TV themes here?
Yeah, and we got a little tribute to the late James Gandolfini.
This is an iconic. I've used iconic 3 times now.
Yeah,
Oh, you have to.
this is a good one.
First time you saw this, it was so different than other opening themes of its day.
Yeah, it's pretty dark.
Yeah. And he's like driving, you're like, how long is this going on and how big is this cast?
Yeah. Who's in this? Steven Van Zandt? Are you kidding me?
Exactly.
I'm watching this.
It stood out.
The song was written by English band Alabama 3.
Oh, Alabama? They had a lot of good hits. They were great. Oh, you mean...
This is a different band.
Oh, it's not them.
Not the country band Alabama. This is Alabama 3.
Oh.
Kind of like Bush X, I guess.
Alabama Shakes.
Isn't this like 5 minutes, too, this song? It's a good one.
4 minutes. Well...
Taggart, you ever meet Steve Van Zandt?
No, I never met Steven Van Zandt, but it's very sad that James Van Gandolfini has left. We're gonna have a little party. The former greatest song in the world. The Ramones are gonna get together. We're gonna do it at the CBGB.
That's a very good Steve Van Zandt.
Yeah, very good.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thanks.
A lot better than your Aussie accent.
Yeah. Oh, now
now it comes out. Now the truth. Now the truth comes
almost
out.
as good as your Aussie accent.
Yeah,
Oh, here we go. Hey, guys.
Australia.
On one of our last podcasts in Canada, can we revisit your first shot at an Aussie accent?
I don't know if I
going
could
to.
do it as bad as that first one. Yeah,
No,
for
yeah,
sure.
We'll just play it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's the last couple of podcasts after we leave Canada are going to be best up.
letter from Australia.
It's my baby daughter you're talking about.
Dear Toolsy, I write to you from the Australian outback.
That's
I've
awful.
got just a couple of days
Scottish.
of food and water left. Don't
Irish.
think I'm going to make it.
Well,
Oh,
it was
God.
a mix of different countries there.
Don't think I'm going to make it.
I was really searching.
Now our second.
I was stressed out. I was sweating when I was
I know, you put a
failing
lot of-
hard on that.
You were
So
stressed.
bad.
You were like,
I was like,
this
wow,
isn't going well.
What am I doing here again? Just poor and poorest? I'm not good at poor.
But remember the original plan, Tools? You were supposed to get your Kiwi neighbor to do it.
Yeah, but
I know,
And
but
then
I
you
didn't
put the
want-
pressure on
I
Taggart.
didn't want to put him in a compromising position. I knew Taggart.
thank God I'm so confident that I
Yeah.
could deal with the backlash of everybody saying that was so terrible.
No, you got your next one was awesome because you did practiced.
Yeah, and then I had to switch.
What-
Just as I was getting used to Australian, I had to go to Hawaiian.
Didn't you do didn't you
It
look
was
up
more
Ian
Polynesian.
Baker Finch
Yeah,
or something?
Ian Baker Finch. Ian Baker Finch. He's the one who helped me out.
Now, you guys went all Depresso TV themes, so we did Sopranos, and the
Yeah.
next one is The Wire.
Well, because we didn't know we were doing Sopranos,
Right.
so we thought we'd do The Wire and then maybe Treme, which was David Simon's other show, because that's like really upbeat, cool tune. Probably the best thing about the show. But The Wire, we love The Wire. It's like, is that your favorite show of all time? It's my favorite show of all time.
I've never seen The Wire.
Ever?
Breaking Bad is good as well.
I've never seen that either.
Taggart's never seen
either.
The Wire or Breaking Bad.
Okay, well, you should view those.
I got to learn up on my crime and my meth.
Yeah, you'd love The Wire.
Is Treme still going, or are they still?
I think they're doing like 4 more episodes.
I still haven't even seen Coach.
Craig T. Nelson is like, why are you watching this, Taggart?
He's just a lovable human, isn't he?
I'm just starting to get on to the Coach.
I had to interview him once.
Was he a or was he all right?
A miserable.
I love it. I love it when they
say that I was so obviously unprepared for the interview that he kind of got a kick out of me, and I think that saved me.
What are you going to ask him?
Well, this is just it. Like, he was just... He's an actor.
Yeah, exactly.
He's an actor.
Don't you know about my Shakespeare in the Park from 1979?
The funniest thing about Craig T. Nelson is he was offered the dad role in Modern Family before Ed O'Neill was, and he turned it down. He wanted too much money, apparently. Stupid move, Craig T. Nelson.
And Ed O'Neill wins again.
And he could have been making out with Sofia Vergara the whole time. Boy, there's that picture of her. Did she Instagram it? Instagram?
She sent it on Twitter.
On Twitter.
What happened?
She sent a picture of herself sunbathing, bathing in the sun, wearing a thong.
Melting in the sun, as it were.
Oh, it was a great picture.
Okay, are we going Ronnie Taggart, or are we going...
Oh, wait. We haven't gotten to the actual theme. Okay.
Too much of a preamble again.
Okay, so here we go. This is the show that Taggart's going to crush in about 2 weeks. It's the greatest show of all time, The Wire.
Fretless bass.
To the garden, you better watch your back. Well, I beg your pardon for the straight and narrow track. If you walk with Jesus, he'll save your soul. You gotta keep the devil down in the hole. All the angels sing.
I think you may have gotten me on that show, Julison.
Now, this is I started watching it because it was on demand, and I got in it that way. The opening theme is Way Down in the Hole, a gospel and blues-inspired song originally written by Tom Waits. Each season uses a different recording of against a different opening sequence in order. Was that the Blind Boys of Alabama, that one? Then Waits
that was
himself,
season 1, right?
Yeah, and then the
Season
Neville
1.
Brothers, then DeMage and Steve Earle. Season 4's version of Way Down the Hole is recorded by 5 Baltimore teenagers.
And Steve Earle is on the show.
That's cool.
As an actor, yeah. He's good.
He's also in Treme.
He was, yeah.
He doesn't do Copperhead Road.
He just comes on, he's like, hear the smell of whiskey burning down Copperhead Road. This doesn't make any sense to the show right now, Steve. Why?
Copperhead Road!
It's okay, guys. I'll just sing it again. Another Copperhead Road refrain.
I don't know. That's the best song ever.
Did 2 tours of duty in Vietnam.
It was a hit. I saw that record at the record store the other day. I almost picked it up for Taggart.
No!
Well, you could have smashed
Taggart
it.
doesn't
I could
want
bring it up to my folks' place.
Speaking of
My
your
dad will be like,
folks,
what is that?
speaking of your folks, is it a tale of Ronnie or a tale of...
Well, I could do a tale of the road, but I'll give you a quick one.
Did Ronnie ever go on the road with you?
Yeah,
No.
did Ronnie ever come in?
No, he did perform with us a couple times, though. He played
that's pretty cool.
tabla accompaniment.
No way.
Yeah.
That must have been pretty cool.
It was very cool, having pops on tabla.
Yeah.
What is that?
Those 2 Indian drums that you sit on the floor and you play?
No, okay.
Yeah. And
Bongos?
no, man, they're called tabla.
I don't know.
It's good stuff. It's
Okay.
intense. It's very difficult instrument. It's a classical.
That'd be very cool.
Classical Indian music. It's amazing. Anyway,
Okay.
my dad woke up grumpy last week, and my mom was like, "You have to tell this one." He woke up upset, and he's just sitting there and
Stewing.
It's just, it's a whole new day, and the birds are just going crazy outside, just chirping like mad. And my mom says he goes into the kitchen and he grabs the top of the garbage lid and a big spoon and goes out and just starts rapping at the birds and screaming, going to the feeders just to ruin their day. Classic Ronnie.
So the birds, the cheerful, bright birds.
Yeah. What are you thinking about this? Bang, 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 going all over the place. How's your morning now? Good stuff. That was just last week.
Ronnie.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Just in case you think he's cooling out. In his,
yeah, that's right. He's mellowing out. No, it's not happening.
Now let's hit the road.
Oh.
It's time for Stories from the Road.
Is somebody gonna wipe my bum or what? Nice. Good stuff.
I want to see if I'm going to check your Wikipedia, see if anyone's put it on there yet to wipe my bum.
I hope so, because God knows I don't have anything to do with my Wikipedia.
Okay,
this takes.
Somebody gonna wipe my bum or what? Where's that? What year's that photo from?
I don't know. I don't no idea. I'm drinking a beer. I'm wearing a Yankees hat.
It looks
which
like you're
is
holding a dart.
Totally ridiculous.
It looks like you have. Is that a Yankees toque?
Yeah, it's actually from Johnny Damon as a gift. That's when I was buddies with him. I was, supporting his team, and I just feel like a dick now because I'm wearing a Yankees
toque
in there. Like I'm actually.
You look so
Mr.
young
Yankees.
and fresh-faced here.
Yeah, that was like 12 years ago or so.
I should be pointing out before you get into your tale from the road. I mentioned this to you on the golf course. I said, someone tweeted me and said, is it just me, or does every time Taggart tell a story about his dad, he's living in a different place? And I wanted to respond is he was.
Yes.
So you are, right?
I am. Yeah, I grew up all over the place. I lived in, at first I was in Toronto, in Etobicoke, 2 different places. Then I was in Woodbridge, and then I was in Mansfield, and then I was in Cookstown, and then Elmville, and Alliston, and Barrie, and Toronto, and just all over the place. That was before grade 9.
Okay,
so
Jesus.
Yeah, so that's
a lot of moving
making
around.
sense now.
I was the new kid in class. Quite used to that
Always
role.
learning to make friends.
I can do the new guy. So
Taggart, it is mentioned here, but not the poo. It just says he is also a frequent guest on TSN's Jay and Dan podcast.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I made it. That's it. Forget all the other stuff.
Everything else is done.
I've done it. So this story, actually, we were recording in Los Angeles, and this was at the time. This is for you boys, because you're about to embark your way out there and live in the sunny west climes of Los Angeles. So I was at a proper Los Angeles party. I guess you could say it's a classic Hills house, one of those like historic kind of places in Beverly Hills, and it had, the super manicured yard, and it was one of those parties where you feel like you can't touch anything in the house. And it was tons of people. And I was there with a musician friend of mine, and he knew some of the people, and I didn't know anybody. But I came prepared with some party favors just in case things got slow. So we're at it's a birthday party. And I'm talking to people, and it's real kind of like got like a 90210 if they were in university feel. Like everybody's just, I'm not feeling it. I'm wanting to get out of there after about 15 minutes. So I go to the inside the house, and there's these lineups to the bathrooms. And I'm like, what's with the lineups? And everybody's doing scoops again. And then, that bothers me. There's all these guys all scooped out, and they're in the lineups, taking forever in the bathroom. So I'm like, this place, this isn't cool at all. I gotta piss, and I'm not gonna get in there for at least a half an hour. There's like 5 deep doing rails. So I sneak in this like back room behind the kitchen, and I look, and I'm like, yes. And this is for anybody who's worth a salt, who is looking for a place to piss. A kitty litter box, a big kitty litter box.
Yeah,
I just went in there and just let it rip.
Let it go.
I felt like a hero.
You know what?
And I did it. I started doing it all night. Got to the point where it's like a couple people were like, "Hey, what are you doing in there?" I'm like, "Nothing."
Nothing.
And the friend of mine that I was with, he went in and he's like, saw the the massive thickness inside of the kitty litter box. Found out what I was doing, and it became classic Los Angeles lore that I was there and I actually was just pissing in the litter box at this fancy party instead of going to the loo.
See, that's better than me pissing on the mannequins
Yeah,
at the bay.
you ruined the mannequin. All I did was wreck the cat's day.
I mentioned that story about you and the bay to my mom. She's like, I think he's gone too far. She was like, he can't tell that.
Yeah.
He can tell you, but he can't tell that.
You can't tell that. I've got stories like that, and I've told you that you can't tell those stories. You might, they might find you. Remember the story that what I peed on that time?
Yeah.
Bonnie
Expensive
Brooks,
pee. I can't do that.
Bonnie Brooks and I are pals.
There's that boom again.
Yeah. What's going on here, guys? We're being attacked again.
It's somebody with the biggest door in the world.
So
just wait. So fast forward to the next day, the party, the people that threw the party, they must be thinking, I think
How do
there's
you
something
pee?
No, they must be thinking, there must be something wrong with the cat, honey.
Oh,
Just huge.
Oh, yeah.
Just a massive.
Yeah.
Just
People were pissed off from
just
what
like
I
a
heard.
baseball glove.
Yeah, it was it was upsetting to the crowd. Oh, while they were doing the happy birthday outside, I popped a couple stink bombs.
Oh, nice.
As they were singing it.
Oh,
and they all
perfect.
had to go in the house afterwards. That was the best part. I forgot. I almost forgot the stink bombs.
Stink bombs.
I brought those stink bombs. Remember I said I came prepared? Party
I
favorites.
thought you were talking about a different party.
No, the
favorites.
glass ones. You know, the ones you step on? Those things can clear a room.
That was a big hit for Tom Jones.
The stink bombs?
By the way, there's a lady emptying the garbages outside the studio. Fairly attractive, Christoph. Yeah, decent. So if you're ever here in the Chump Radio studios, there's some hot janitors.
I think he's gone too far.
And sometimes that's what happens.
He can't.
Oh no, that's right. That's right. She can hear us. Holy boat! Oh my God. Is she? Hello? Is she reacting right now?
The pass has been made.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, because we turned the speaker on so Taggart could hear.
Oh, that's right.
Uh-oh.
So is this finally the moment I've gone too far?
Monsieur, all right? Did you mean what you said?
Oh no. Oh no. Christoph?
She's still cleaning. So.
Okay.
Okay, we better get out of here.
I think that's a good place
Nice
to end
going.
it. Way to go, on right. So now I've taken it too far.
We're all under our own bus.
She's still there?
Let's pretend we're not here and doing different shows.
Yeah. This isn't us.
Yeah.
We're not the ones doing this. It's the Flow 93.5 hip hop station next door.
Hey, this is
They're saying these things about you.
This is Jim Taddy here. Hey, guy. Yes, guy.
Good thing I quit already.
Well, we best get out of here.
So you guys are heading out to the clubs now.
Yeah, we're gonna step it up. We're gonna coog it. There's the husband. He's pissed.
Yeah.
Nice going.
A gentleman.
Anyway.
Oh, no. Is he coming in here? Oh, no.
Anyway.
Oh, my God, no. Oh, he's leaving now.
Yes,
okay,
guy.
it's all right.
Yes, guy.
He walked by. I honestly thought he was coming in here to kick my ass.
Word around the offices, you've got a fat.
So what's going on is the husband of the cleaner is upset.
I think so. I'm going to try to find a rear entrance out of here. Rear entrance.
Is there anything I can say that makes me do something else right now?
What?
They'll think I'm somebody else.
Oh, yeah. Hello. Okay, bye. She laughed.
Oh, no.
Oh, that was sweet. She laughed and smiled.
She was shocked.
Looks like things are looking up for Rightsy.
Maybe a little oil.
First base is taken care of.
Oh, that was good. I enjoyed that.
So again, guys, we work for the Flow. When we
Flow 935, your hip hop station in
Here's
Toronto.
Robin Thicke's song that you just heard 37 times.
Here's Rob Bass and DJ Easy Rock.
Okay, we'll see you next week.
Bye.
They're going home.
Dance.
Dance. Dance. Keep dancing. Dance.
This is the Jay and Dan Podcast.